Hi, I'm Dr. John Douillard and welcome to LifeSpa.com, and today I want to talk about our new product, LifeSpa's organic grass-fed cultured ghee. And I want to talk about the difference between ghee that's cultured and non-cultured. And from the Ayurvedic perspective, the Ayurvedic texts say that the ghee was always cultured, and they attributed 1,000 different health benefits to ghee. It was truly a superfood. So let's dig in and see if the culturing of the ghee is actually what made it a superfood. So to make ghee, you start out with grass-fed organic butter. You would let it sit traditionally. The lactic acid bacteria would start to culture it. You would churn it into butter, and you would have cultured butter. During that culturing process, the lactic acid bacteria would eat up a lot of the lactose or the sugar in the milk and actually hydrolyze the proteins, breaking them down into smaller pieces, making them much easier to digest. That's the first ferment. The second ferment is when you take that cultured butter and you put it in a pot, small batches, and you cook it under a very low heat for a very long period of time. So it's a slow, long heating process that continues to activate the lactic acid bacteria that actually break up more of the lactose and gobble up whatever's left, rendering it literally lactose free, and also further hydrolyzing the proteins in the milk solids so they actually congeal and they can be skimmed off when you're left with the golden ghee. Now on inspection it looks exactly like the regular ghee that you buy in the grocery store. But here's the difference. Butter has a fatty acid in it called butyric acid. It's about 3 to 4% of butter is this butyric acid butter. Well, butyric acid is one of the most important fatty acids for intestinal health. It regulates gut immunity, which is 70% of your immune response. It feeds the colon cells to give them the energy they need to function. It feeds the good bacteria. It really regulates a healthy microbiome. It's so important in the gut that the gut actually has many of its own bacteria that literally make its own butyric acid, one called Clostridium butyricum. So it's a really important fatty acid for intestinal health. Well, it turns out that when you actually culture the ghee and culture the butter, the lactic acid is converted into lactate, and the lactate is therefore converted into butyric acid. So the culturing process literally makes the cultured ghee a factory for making more of this incredible, really important fatty acid called butyric acid. So that's one of the reasons why the cultured ghee may be the Ayurvedic superfood. The other reason is a fat that's called conjugated linoleic acid. So I wrote an article about conjugated linoleic acid and how grass-fed ghee has 500 times more of this CLA than conventional ghee does. So conjugated linoleic acid is by far a superfood. It's a supplement you buy at your health food store to support healthy weight. It's been shown to increase immunity. It's been shown to increase liver function, bone health, boost good bacteria in your gut, balance and help stabilize your blood sugar, support heart health. It's a powerful antioxidant, and maybe most importantly, it's a fat that has been shown to regulate weight. So it's sold over the counter as a weight loss agent, which is sort of interesting. Now, the conjugated linoleic acid is actually made, again, like a factory from the culturing process of the ghee. The lactic acid bacteria converts something called linoleic acid, which is another fat in ghee or in butter, and converts that into this super fat called conjugated linoleic acid. So once again, making the ghee in a cultured fashion actually takes this fat, the linoleic acid, which at high dosages actually can be inflammatory. At low doses, it's actually quite healthy for you. But the only fat that could be considered possibly bad in butter or in dairy or in milk products is the linoleic acid. But when you actually culture it, it converts it from the linoleic acid to the conjugated linoleic acid, and it becomes, once again, this factory for making this super fat, which is really important. So it does seem that the culturing of the ghee is something that is literally quite beneficial and really amps up the benefits of the ghee itself. It's also nice to remember that ghee is a fat that's highly stable. It's one that can handle high heat. They did a study with ghee and they cooked it at a high heat along with other vegetable oils, And the vegetable oils produce 10 times more of these toxic acrylamides, which are these oxidizing agents they're very damaging, that come from heating things at high temperatures. So they had 10 times more than the ghee did, which is significant. And you should also know that ghee is tridoshic, which means it's good for all body types, vata, pitta, and kapha. As an oil, it balances vata, really good for your nervous system. It's a cooling oil because all the milk solids have been boiled off. The only two oils that are generally cooling are coconut and ghee. Ghee, very, very cooling for pitta. And it's also used in our cleanses, our Colorado cleanses and short home cleanses, as a detox agent. This fat is used in a process called lipophilic mediated detox, which means that the ghee actually goes into your body, absorbs into your tissues, and attaches to bad fats, environmental pollutants, and things like that, out of your fat cells and detoxes them out of the body. And there's good science behind that. So therefore, it also actually pulls kapha or impurities or toxins out of your body, therefore making it tridoshic. So it's safe to say that cultured ghee really does amp up the benefits of ghee, something really, really important. So please take a look at our new ghee. I wrote an article all about this science, which I think is really quite amazing. And you can get that at LifeSpa.com and with the article associated with this video. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard. Do you like this video? Don't forget to subscribe and share.
This recording is brought to you by LifeSpa, where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern science. Get access to free health video newsletters by Dr. John at LifeSpa.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.